What is going on, everybody? We're here. We're live for Geeks and Gamers Daily. And, as crazy as the past 48 hours or so have been, it does look like at least there is some good news, which is reportedly, as of early this morning, the person who murdered Charlie Kirk has been found and apprehended and caught, and that they believe that they have the guy. Press conference just got over about that. And of course, there's pictures, there's images, there's stuff like that that are coming out. But with everything that's happened, that is a glimmer of good news, that they found the piece of shit who did it. But
Yeah.
Jay, how you doing, man?
Doing okay. Had a beautiful stream early on. So I what a Transformers hack is. Someone sent it to me as a gift, and but had a beautiful stream this morning with a lot of people in the chat, just sharing love and sharing, their thoughts and everything on a very, very heavy emotional week that will. It's just the ripple effect of this is going to be a tidal wave. I think it's going to be huge from all this stuff that's happened this week. I think our nation will never ever look the same again. So I agree with everyone that makes those statements, and I'm glad they got the guy. I guess we'll see what happens from here.
Yeah,
Tyler Robinson. Tyler Robinson is his name.
Yeah, look, we talked about it yesterday that they're going to have to be fully transparent about every single thing possible, because it doesn't matter if they find this guy. It doesn't matter if it matches the video. People are going to have questions. People are going to have theories, and understandably so, about how this could happen. Is this the only person involved? And we only know what we've been told at this point in time. A lot of people obviously speculating about a lot of wild shit, and anything could be possible. But for now, this is it. And I'm not going to lie, Jay. There is a lot of heartbreak associated with for me, with the situation involving this piece of shit, right?
Yeah.
Tyler Robinson, that is who was named. There's obviously a lot of other pictures floating there about him, his family. Essentially, how exactly this happened, whether it was because of the photos that were released, whether he just said something. His parents realized that it was him. His parents found out that it was him. His dad, like a 27-year-old veteran of the sheriff's department. And it looks like a couple years ago, this kid is there. They like a great family, loving family. They're proud of their son for going to college. And then a couple years at college, a couple years in these cesspools, in this hellhole of just pushing this nonsense.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, the family says he started to become more political and hateful. He talked about Charlie Kirk, how much he hated him for these things, mentioned that he was going to be there at this place, all of that stuff. And then for a father, for a parent to have to turn in, one, just realizing that your child has been warped into something unrecognizable intentionally. And then to have to turn in your son with the knowledge that he's going to be put to death.
Yeah.
Is.
He did the right thing.
Yeah. And
he did the right thing. As difficult and it's difficult. He did the right thing. He had to do what was right. And he did it,
I couldn't imagine as a father, having being put in that situation, but I'm glad that this piece of shit is in custody. There's no doubt about that. Here's the mugshot.
Yeah.
Of Tyler Robinson, piece of shit. And look, They talked a lot at the press conference. We're not going to go through all of the details, but certainly the reports that came out of there being, etchings and messages left on the bullets and on the cartridges and things like that. That was true. A lot of anti-fascist, a lot of Antifa rhetoric, the Bella Ciao, stuff like that. If you heard that out there, that goes all the way back to like Italian anti-fascist movements. You could argue about this stuff about noticing bulges that might come into that transgender stuff that we had talked about. And of course, catch this fascist, referring to the bullet. Disgusting, vile shit. But
it makes me, I am on the curious side as to who got a hold of him to warp this man's brain to the point where his hate was so strong for something that he wanted to commit murder. You know, what was it? Was it the college that he went to? Because we know that that's just a breeding ground for these professors just, and stop me if I get on this crazy roll. It's like that's a freaking breeding ground for these to indoctrinate young people, and make them fearful and put them under their control with this ridiculous warped mind thinking of the world. And that's something that we need to address down the line, but that's just one thing after another. Was it, who was it?
Jay, that is the sad irony of this entire thing.
Yeah.
These kids that go to these colleges that are surrounded in this echo chamber, who's all their professors have the same political ideology. They shove it down people's throats. And whether it's stuff they see with the mainstream media, social media, all this stuff. That's the sad irony, is that's what Charlie Kirk dedicated his life to altering. He dedicated his life to going to campuses to speak to people exactly like this, whose minds had been warped by these people, who were surrounded by that, and present something else. To argue with them, to debate with them, to have speech, like free dialogue between two people. This is exactly the type of person that Charlie Kirk was desperately trying to save.
Yeah.
And he killed him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's and now, to see people on the progressive left come out and like, oh, we don't condone political violence. And then soon as they do that, there are massive amounts of clips of these same people that are saying, we need blood in the streets. These people are going to destroy the fabric of America. They're a threat to everything that you love. They're a threat to your family. They're a threat. And it's just like, yeah, you make that, you push that kind of rhetoric over and over and over and over and over again. Then when something like this happens, you're like, well, we don't condone that kind of stuff. Give me a freaking break, man. The clips are out there. I mean, I've seen this stuff from Hassan Piker. They were playing old clips of even Joe Biden and Tim Walz and all these people that were just like, you got to punch people in the mouth. There should be rioting in the streets. There should be this on fire. Like they make these quotes over and over and over again and push it. And then when something like this happens, they just, well, you shouldn't have done that. That's not nice. Give me a freaking break with that stuff, man. It's and I'm glad that these people are getting called out. And again, I know like there's a lot of people that were fired yesterday. A lot of people, because under, not to get over political here, it's just like under Biden administration, these people were free to say all the kind of crap they wanted to do without any repercussions. Their actions had no consequences. They laugh at the death of others, at the death of children, at the death of the innocent. They laugh and they could say whatever they want. Yeah, whatever, we could do what we want. Now you're being held accountable for your actions. I'm freaking glad. So,
yeah, you guys are the ones that have wanted this. So if you want to play by your rules, that's fine. I guarantee that we'll be fucking better at it than you. I guarantee. And we have seen so many different people losing their jobs and stuff across all aspects. I just saw a post from Eric Daughtry supposedly that says there's a Secret Service agent that was suspended now and expected to be fired for celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk.
Yeah,
A
laughing.
Secret Service agent.
Well, at least it's weeding them out, man. You know, for me, it's a lot like seeing a lot of these teachers get let go. These freaking crazy people that are teaching children in schools, teaching them that they have multiple genders and teaching them all that and fighting to hang up the pride flag in their classroom and all that stuff. They're out there celebrating. You know, I'm going through it too, and they're getting let go. It's like,
yeah, good. It's like,
get the freak out.
The time has come for this. Like this is where we are now.
And you want to know? Sorry,
go ahead.
I get people like tagging me. They're like, "How could you be happy about this, Jay? You're a Christian, and Jesus wouldn't want that." Let me tell you something. There was a time when Jesus showed up at the temple, and he saw the wrong people in the freaking temple. And you know what Jesus did? He freaking got a whip and got those freaking people out. He got them out. He's like, "You don't belong here. This is not where you're supposed to be. Get the freak out. Out you go, turning tables, messing up their businesses, causing a muck, you know, and saying, get out. This isn't, you're not supposed to be here. Take your propaganda, take your lies, take all your stuff. Just get out. Get out." So miss me with that Jesus stuff. if that's what you please. So
yeah,
it's time, man. Get out. Like we've tried to be civil. The one person that would go and sit and have a conversation with you, you took out.
Yeah, you killed the reasonable person.
Yeah.
Right? You murdered the reasonable person who has discussions with people. When you kill the reasonable people, you are not going to be happy with the people who are left. And yes, a lot of people are losing their jobs, rightfully so. I am going to celebrate that. I am going to celebrate these people losing their jobs. I am going to celebrate these people getting put on blast because good. We need to get this sickening rot out of these institutions. The people who are educating your children, the idea that the people who are educating your children, that this is who they are, this is who they reveal themselves to be, they need to get fired. They absolutely do. Fuck them. Wholeheartedly. And for years and years, even while we disagree with people about stuff, even while we disagree about this or disagree about that, we've been pretty constant in like, you know, having a different opinion and having a different political opinion shouldn't like lead people to lose their jobs, right? And I do think that is still the case. I don't think that simply having a difference in political opinion is a reason for people to lose their jobs. I maintain that even now. When it gets to that level, it is one thing. Look, nobody should be canceled or fired or anything like that for not mourning Charlie Kirk. If you didn't like him, if you hated what he said, nobody should be forced to mourn someone. There is a difference between not mourning somebody or not feeling bad or not feeling sorry or whatever and celebrating, right? I might not agree. If you don't want to mourn him, if you think he's a piece of, I'll disagree with you all day. If you are celebrating it, that is a different story. If you are celebrating his assassination and you want to see more, that is a different story. And I hope every one of those slimy, scumbag, degenerate fucks, I hope their lives are destroyed. That's how I feel.
Yeah, there's no reasoning with.
Look, there's a lot of people in the world that if this happened to them, yeah, I'm not going to say that I'm going to sit there and cry tears for you. I'm not going to necessarily like whatever go out there and publicly mourn you or anything. There is a big difference between that and celebrating. And
huge.
I don't understand how people can't get that when it comes to this.
100%. It's huge. Huge difference. So, but here we are. So keep showing who you are. Keep thinking it's funny. Just keep doing it because I've never seen something like we were even last night, like or was it yesterday? Like from football organizations to baseball organizations to mainstream media, comic book writers. As soon as they find out someone on their staff was laughing and celebrating, they immediately took to apologize. And it seems like almost all of them have been let go. So that I'm like,
And
yet,
some of them have been very public. There's like a
yeah,
Phoenix area basketball website that covers the Phoenix Suns. Somebody said
yeah,
something. They immediately announced, we've let this person go. The Las Vegas, I don't know if you saw this, the Golden Knights. There was somebody
yes,
attached to the Fox Sports. I can even pull this one up. I have this one ready to show. And Vegas Golden Knights are a hockey team, NHL hockey team. You know, they put this out there. We condemn in the strongest possible terms the abhorrent and deplorable comments made on social media by an employee of Lotus Broadcasting regarding Charlie Kirk. This individual is not an employee of the Golden Knights, has never been an employee. Glorifying or excusing violence is vile, unacceptable, and will not be tolerated. We have demanded that Lotus immediately address the matter. And, sure enough, they did. Fox Sports, a team member shared offensive comments. While we respect the personal beliefs, we don't tolerate hate or discrimination. The individual's on leave and then says the employee has been terminated with an update. And this is what the person was saying. Bobby Machado, radio producer for the Vegas Golden Knights, right? I'm just going to say one more thing about Charlie Kirk. Good fucking riddance. I've watched his show way too much. He's a piece of human shit. And I'm glad as fuck the world is without him. Fuck him all the way to hell. Good night.
wow,
Tells Trump to suck his dead dick and get it over with already.
wow,
Right?
wow.
Like that's what this guy posted, and he's fired. And this is, again, there are hundreds and hundreds of likely examples of this from teachers. We saw a lot of teachers in the state of Florida that this has happened to.
Yeah.
Good. Fucking good. I'm glad.
That is disgusting. Like you said, it's one thing if Charlie Kirk said something and you commented under, I disagree with you. Why? Here, boom, boom. And then on your own social media, you express your own opinions. Hey, fine, good for you. People that agree with you will probably follow you. People that don't probably won't. There you have it. Charlie went to college campuses where you were free to talk to him or not listen or go home or go do your homework or go do whatever. He wasn't showing up, making you listen to what he had to say. He never did that. He never went anywhere and was like, you have to sit, I'm going to chain you to this chair and you better listen to every word I say and agree with me. If not, we're going to kick you out of this school and cancel you and all that stuff. Didn't do that. He loved talking to people. It didn't matter where. That's just who he was. And like you said, they took out the reasonable one. So, yeah, I don't.
And so not only do we have the life-shattering effects of Charlie Kirk's death and a broken family, kids will grow up without a father, right? But then the piece of shit who did it is just one example of so many people who get propagandized and indoctrinated when they go to these communist Marxist colleges by their professors, by all these people that are involved with the universities. They get indoctrinated there. They have their minds warped. They get fucking brainwashed while they're there. And they all don't turn out shooting somebody, but a lot of people turned out completely fucking changed from that. And now you've got another family that is,
Yeah.
I truly feel heartbroken for that kid's parents based on the very little we know, right? It would be one thing if the parents were pushing some shit. It'd be one thing if the parents were pushing this stuff. From everything we've been able to glean in very little time, that's not the case. Seemed like a normal, average, middle class family. That's what it felt like. A dad who'd been a sheriff for 27 years, and then you have to do the hardest thing I could imagine a father would ever have to do.
I mean, the rest of their lives, man, no matter where they go, if people recognize them, they're not going to be accepted in places and stuff like that. Nobody's going to want them as their neighbors. Nobody's going to want them around. It's like, I feel like they're just going to have to move away somewhere and just start over. And that's what their son is putting them through.
Other side of the fence, how do you know his ideology? Maybe what he wrote on the fucking bullets, you cock-sucking piece of shit. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe we can glean something from what he wrote on the fucking bullets, in which he put one in Charlie Kirk and the others he would have if he missed. Maybe, just maybe, we can know what his political ideology was. The time for being reasonable is over.
He wrote that stuff on the bullets. The news reports are coming out now that he was just always angry. He's facing the death penalty.
Yes. And that's what I mean. Yeah. Like, it's all very public. And for a father to, one, realize that this is what his son has turned into, and then two, have to turn him in with the knowledge that he's going to be executed, would not wish that on any person. But to reiterate, on the bullet and bullet casings that were found, I should say the bullet casings, not the bullets, but on the casings that were found, it said, "Catch this fascist." It had anti-fascist rhetoric that started all the way back in like the 40s, specifically like anti-Nazi, anti-fascist rhetoric. And then there is one thing, the noticing bulges thing. I do think you could talk about some sort of hint at a transgender comment right there. You notice bulges, well, notice this. That's what I would interpret it as. We'll see more. I'm sure we'll learn a lot more about it in the coming days. But the parents said that in recent years, he had all of a sudden become more political and very hateful towards Charlie Kirk and the right wing. And it specifically talked about Charlie Kirk coming and how much he hated him and shit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, ain't that much of a stretch to figure out someone's ideology when this is what we have.
No, and look at this. I want to share this video real quick. This is a guy that's on the this is what they pump out on like college campuses right here.
The day after Charlie Kirk's murder, we're here at Georgia Tech University in Atlanta, Georgia, and the first thing I see when I come to the campus is the fall of the Trump fascist regime beginning November 5th, 2025. RefuseFascism.org needs to be investigated. 2028 is way too late. Trump must go now. If you walk with me here, we have another sign. This is the scary part. The time has come for the fall of the Trump fascist regime beginning November 5th. No, in the name of humanity, we refuse to accept a fascist America. All over the campus, similar signs. No, in the name of humanity, we refuse to accept a fascist America. RefuseFascism.org, followed by a sign that we already read. This is happening all over this campus. So you got to ask yourself, when you see posters like this nonstop, what are they advocating for? Are they inciting certain events that we have seen recently? The time has come for the fall of the Trump fascist regime. The time has come. I want to say that again. The time has come. That is what left-leaning organizations on college campuses at Georgia Tech are propagating to college students.
Yeah, we've all seen, like, that's just...
Yeah. And
that's the rhetoric.
That's the thing, and we talked about it yesterday. The mainstream media and very influential people who continue to spread lies play a huge role in this. And with that, I want to talk about Stephen King.
Yes.
I want to talk about Stephen King, one of the most deranged, woke, TDS-infested motherfuckers that exist out there, right? Stephen King, with 7 million followers. 7 million followers. And what did he tweet out yesterday? Not only did he kind of make light of it and just talk about gun violence, but this is what he put out yesterday. This is in Jesse Waters saying Charlie Kirk was not controversial or polarizing. Charlie was a patriot. And Stephen King says he advocated stoning gays to death. Just saying. Now, that tweet had over 250,000 likes. Who knows how many impressions it had. This is a lie. This is not true. This is fake, but it's been put out there by people in the media and also big left-wing accounts on social media. And it's been repeated. That lie has been repeated time and time again. In the same way that Charlie Kirk was a racist, Charlie Kirk was a Nazi, Charlie Kirk was a fascist, Charlie Kirk was all of these things are the lies that are being told by the media, that are echoed by stupid fucks like this, that led directly to Charlie Kirk being murdered. These are the lies. And Stephen King, ended up getting called out 18 hours after the fact, having that up for 18 hours before he deleted the post, right? Before he deleted the post, and instead is like, well, I apologize for saying Charlie Kirk advocated stoning gays. What he actually demonstrated was how some people cherry pick biblical passages. Still can't just fucking say one thing. Still can't. He still has to get the spin out there somewhere. But this is the shit. This is the shit. These are the lies that are spread by these people in order to demonize people like Charlie Kirk that lead directly to his death. Congratulations, Stephen King. Thank you for showing us. By the way, Stephen King's got a movie coming out this weekend, The Long Walk.
Interesting. It's funny. There's no way in the world he would have apologized if there was a different president. There's no way. And I don't think, because I guess somebody told him, his PR person, or like, hey, man, you're getting a little backlash from this. Maybe you shouldn't have said those things. Again, these were the same people that, like you said, they spewed this type of nonsense before. And now, like, we're pushing back against it. And now they don't know what to do. They're scrambling. Like you said, NFL, comic book places, DC, like all these people, they're scrambling to be like, hey, man, we can't be like that anymore. We can't go out there and say like the stuff that we used to, because they used to get away with it and no one did anything. They were never held accountable. But it's different. And now now they're all freaking scrambling. Stephen King just went like, he's got this guy here collected like all his tweets. I'm going to just share them real quick. It looks like he is, oops, sorry.
No, you're good.
Like, he's just like, I've apologized. I was wrong. I apologize. I've apologized. This is horrible. I apologized. It's like,
did any of your apologies get 250,000 likes?
Yeah.
Right. That's how loud the lie was, Stephen King.
Yeah.
And to put it in perspective, no, Charlie Kirk did not say that. It was a conversation. I think Miss Rachel or something was out there talking about why she supports some bullshit. And she used a Bible verse. And Charlie basically said, well, you're talking about this verse from Leviticus. You back up a couple verses and this is what it says, right? Like, just putting that out there. It wasn't him saying that. In fact, we have, like, you want to know what Charlie Kirk thinks about gay people? Here it is. I believe marriage is one man and one woman. Also, gay people should be welcomed in the conservative movement. As Christians, we're called to love everyone. I'll always stand against people who wish to establish their own personal values as a reason to kick others out of our movement. Those are his actual feelings. Yet Stephen King repeats some of the very same lies that resulted in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And just as a quick aside, for considering all of the people out there, all of the people that are out there celebrating, a lot of them also have like, Palestine stuff in their bios or in their tweets, or, why don't you talk about this? Why don't you talk about Gaza? Why don't you talk about these people who've been murdered? Just so you know, if you've got a problem with people who think that gay people should be executed, might want to look into Palestine a little bit. Might want to look into that. Just saying. Bit. Just saying. You might want to think about that. If you actually want to talk about people that believe that, maybe take a trip there and do some research.
Exactly. And if you are gay and you make a trip there, I wouldn't go in any tall buildings. Just FYI, little nugget for you. I'm just saying. They don't like your kind there. So just a little research, a little Google would help you understand that. That's all.
Dark Knight Rider says, I miss the good old days of Philly's Karen. Yeah. Me too. And, now that this now that the person who everyone believes to have done it is is caught and all of that stuff, I do think that we'll probably hear on this channel kind of get back to more of the normal program and the normal discussion points. But I want to make it known that we're not going to stop talking about people who are coming out and saying this shit, who are like showing their true colors when it revolves around like the entertainment, gaming industry, stuff like that. That person we talked about yesterday, that works for Sucker Punch, that works for Ghost of Yote, apparently they have been fired.
Yeah, and he posted on Blue Skies like, I will always stand for fascists, even if it costs me my dream job, or stand against fascism, even if it costs me my dream job.
I would do if standing against fascism cost me my dream job, I would do it 1,000 times.
Oh
harder.
Yeah, that's what it was. Something like. Thank you for correcting me.
So this person drew she, her, Poly, ENM, ex-ILM, by the way, used to work at ILM, works at Sucker Punch on Ghost of Yote, was retweeting and celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. People noticed that. People called it out. People were emailing Sucker Punch. Well, apparently, reportedly, Drew Harrison has been fired after these comments about Charlie Kirk. Let's see if we can find it right here. Here it is. Removed Sucker Punch, by the way. Removed all of that stuff from her profile. And then says, if standing up against fascism would cost me my dream job I held for 10 years, I would do it again 100 times stronger. And then somebody said, did you really get fired? If so, please post a GoFundMe. Says, I don't need any money. Ghost of Yote is an amazing game made by over 200 people I love dearly. Donate to families in Gaza, the Trevor Project, or the ACLU. So they got what was coming to them. They got fired.
Yeah, once you go through all those likes too,
Yeah. As Blue Sky, you guys Hugbox on Blue Sky. Unlike Twitter, the likes are public. So we can see all the people that work for Bungie, the people that work for, MTG, the people that work for these places that are liking those posts. We can see it.
Yeah, it's a little different. A little different from the old Twitter that you ran away from because you wanted to have a chamber where you could laugh at people, getting killed. These are the same people that were celebrating that our president was almost assassinated, and making jokes and stuff. Oh man, just a little bit to the left, like things like just foul and disgusting. And like you said, and even after that, there were people that reached out to these people saying, let's have a conversation, let's meet somewhere, let's do this. And yet, no, they just pushed us out of the way. And they don't want to hear what we have to say. They don't want anything to do with our lifestyle. They hate our lifestyle. They hate that we love our country. They hate that we have a job and have like that people are raising families and having children and all that. They hate all that. They hate that people are happy. They hate it all, man. They just live in hate. And we see these people constantly going and creating these giant dragons to slay every day. That is the most stupidest thing ever because they're upset at this. We went through this period under Biden where like the politically correct talking points, you got to say this and don't say that and don't say this and act like this and don't wear that and don't. I mean, it was a constant. People were being offended and make sure you say your pronouns. We got to properly use our pronouns or you're going to upset people. People are going to be offended. Oh, no, man. That time, these people are insane. These people are insane and shouldn't be around other people. They are insane. I'm not. I can't articulate my words as good as Ryan, but I think people understand where I'm coming from. Like, it's like these people are insane. They run to TikTok and they use TikTok as a therapy session. And they push this ridiculousness. Like these people that would record themselves. I was misgendered today. I'm going to have a meltdown. Everybody comfort me and coddle me. These people are like, oh man, I've lost all my food stamps. I used to be able to buy Pepsi Cola. Now I can't, even though they're like 500 pounds. It's like these people cry. They're all victims and they all, oh man, I can go on and on and on. Sorry.
And other side of the fence proving once again that he's probably a communist queer. Your whole career is hating things. We talk about movies. We talk about products. We talk about entertainment. We talk about gaming. We talk about stuff like this. And I'm not going to lie, there are plenty of people that I absolutely hate. There is a difference between not liking a movie, saying a movie's dog shit, calling out a company for pushing these things. There's a difference between that and saying that those people need to die and celebrating their death. And if you can't see that, it's probably because you're one of those very same insane fucking lunatics. That's probably why. If you can't tell the difference between saying, wow, The Acolyte fucking sucks. This thing is a piece of trash. Maybe Disney should stop pandering to these people. If you can't see the difference between that and what we're witnessing over the last almost 48 hours in the aftermath of the assassination attempt, and the assassination, not attempt, but when people did just think it was an attempt, people hoping that he died, people, saying that I'll show my tits if he dies, stuff like that. If you can't tell the difference, then you are fucking hopeless.
Yeah.
You are a fucking hopeless piece of shit. And I do hate you.
Crazy people. And now it's like, I think like even the verbiage needs to shift, because like the media and everything are calling people with common sense far right, and it's like, no, man, we just have we have common sense and decency over here. Yeah, and now you want to label us like extremist right.
Going to the gym and caring about fitness is an indication of far right ideology. All the crazy stuff that we've seen, bro.
People that aren't wearing masks are part of the far right ideology, and they need to be stopped. Oh God, these people. Yeah, it's just been covering this slop for so long, and it's these same people that they go to these colleges and then they get jobs in our entertainment, and they're just like, we'll just take over and push all that crap there. We'll push it in our media. We'll push it in our colleges. We'll push it everywhere. As far as we could push it to get our agenda across. And now here we are. Here we are. The most normal man who loved God, who loved his wife and kids, who was willing to have a conversation with anyone gently, with facts. He took him out.
Yeah, and you want to talk about the gaming world and gaming journalists and stuff like this? Here's Nathan Grayson. Nathan Grayson somehow still doing stuff after all this time. For people that don't remember, a decade ago, Nathan Grayson was one of the things that kicked off Gamergate. When Nathan Grayson, far left fucking activist, where it was essentially revealed that Zoe Quinn, another far left activist and aspiring game developer, they were fucking each other, and he gave her good reviews on her games. Right. One of the things that led to people calling out ethics in game journalism and all this stuff from a decade ago at this point. Nathan Grayson's still kicking around. He runs this site called Aftermath. And here's what he put out there. This is the top thing on a gaming website, by the way. Okay, but you do know you're eulogizing Charlie Kirk, right? Are we talking about the same guy, New York Times, MSNBC, and Gavin Newsom? Right. And he goes through this laundry list of accusations about Charlie Kirk being racist and big, blah, 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 all of this shit. Right. You can see he put this out, and he says, rest in piss.
Yeah.
Rest in piss from Nathan Grayson. These are game journalists. You want to wonder why the state of gaming is so strange? Because these are the activists that are still somehow, I mean, this guy was at the Washington Post for a while. This is Nathan Grayson, the same dude who fucked Zoe Quinn and gave her a good review of her game.
That's who they are. And seems like he hasn't changed much. They're the same people as they always are. And they all get they all get jobs. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I don't even I don't even know what It's like I don't even know what to say about it. We said it over and over about these freaking people over and over and over again. You know, I mean, look, you want to talk about blue sky? It's like the you know, this is who they're calling for next.
Yeah, J.K. Rowling, Joe Rogan, Ben
Matt
Shapiro,
Walsh.
Elon Musk, like a ton of this stuff. Active like calls for assassination and violence, right? Like,
Yep. Nice. Do Matt Walsh next. I don't even like Matt Walsh, but it's like, holy crap, this is insane. This is insane. Do Trump next. This is the best news. Do Trump next. Oh my God, please do Trump next. J.K. Rowling's next, please. Like, I'm glad the guy died, but they're going to be really hard on the, oh, this is a dark day in America about a guy I had never heard of till he was shot. Can we get J.K. Rowling's next? Unbelievable.
if you spend 10 years saying that these people who have fairly like mainstream views, I'm not going to lie, mainstream conservative views, if you spend an entire year saying that those people that represent a large portion of Americans in terms of those viewpoints, if you say for 10 years that these people are Nazis and that it's okay to punch Nazis and it's okay to kill Nazis and aren't Nazis bad, this guy's a Nazi. This is what happens. And look, Jay, it's one thing when there's people out there, and we've even, as a very small part of the internet, we've even been subject to people desperately trying to get us canceled for lying about us, lying about the things we say, all of this shit in a desperate effort to get us deplatformed and canceled. We are now at the level where people are shooting people because of the very same lies that have been perpetuated throughout the last 10 years.
I mean, it starts at the top, man. You know, it starts at the top. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We are a threat. The greatest threat, a genuine threat. We are a threat to freedom. We are a threat to democracy. We're a threat to America. Threats, the greatest threat. We will lose everything. Keep pumping that crap in these people's heads. You know, then they do something like this and they think they're heroes. You know,
I can't wait to see your little hero get fucking raped in prison and shot. I can't wait for that. That's what's gonna happen to what's his fucking name? I don't even remember. Something Robinson. Tyler Robinson. That's what's gonna happen.
Someone posted this thing. This thing has like 2 million views, bro. He goes, "This is how we got here." Ryan doesn't know I'm playing it. I don't know.
Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic.
Are they a threat to democracy? Yes. Are they going to take our rights away? Yes. Are they going to put people's lives in danger? Yes. Are they going to endanger the planet by not dealing with climate change? Yes.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country. Maybe there will be.
She's a genuine danger to American security.
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
We have to preserve our democracy, or speak out against lies and hate.
There needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Have a consistent narrative about how dangerous Trump is.
President Biden has been clear-eyed about the threat that the former president represents to our democracy. Donald Trump is an existential threat to our democracy and our most fundamental freedoms.
Kamala needs to stop saying that President Trump is a threat to democracy. It's now being received by some unhinged people as a call to action. Enough is enough.
What a wild edit, man. And that was my point earlier when I was like, these people come out and they're like, oh, we don't want violence. There's people on your side that literally says you have to put a bullet in our president to stop him.
Let's catch up with some of these chats, and then we have a normal topic. We're gonna talk about Super Mario Brothers.
Breathe a little bit, yeah.
So we'll try to return a little normalcy.
It's also Sydney Sweeney's birthday. Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Sydney Sweeney. I'm sure now that she's 28 years old, a bunch of people who have a ton of experience with women will say she's about to hit the wall. Craig Bintz for $50 says, longtime listener, first time chatter. I got nothing. Well, appreciate the long time listening in the chat, Craig. Thank you. Logan Johnson for $50. Words don't describe how I feel about these people wishing harm and death to others, especially coming from the tolerant left. YouTube's lame censoring and won't let me send the things I truly want to say, even if I bleep it out. Absolutely abhorrent. Well, thank you, Logan. There's a lot of people who are really fucking angry, and understandably so, over the past couple days. Not just because of what happened, but I'm just going to be real. It's not just about what happened. It's not just about watching Charlie Kirk be murdered in front of thousands of people and seeing the videos. It is not just about that. I think that the reaction of the people on the left is it is such a huge, massive mistake for them, because it's one thing to just be like, hey, one crazy guy out there did one thing. You shouldn't throw a bunch of people and lump a bunch of people in with that because of one crazy person. When you see hundreds of thousands, millions of people cheering that on, that is a different thing, because that tells you it's not just one person. It's not just one person who wants to kill you if you have a different opinion. It's millions of people in this country that are cheering that shit on. And that is disturbing. That is scary. And it's also, it inspires a lot of fucking anger. It does. Alex McCarthy for $2. No meta plug for me today. Just prayers again. Thank you, Alex. Appreciate it, buddy.
Yeah, this thing might start a huge revival too.
Wildo Teabaggins. A Wildo Teabaggins for $2. This kid looks like your standard suburban Utah. I haven't spent too much time in Utah, so. Torga the White, defund the universities, no more tax money. Doug May for $5. Utah State University is known for swapping kids' beliefs, especially when it comes to religion. It's a very liberal college. How many of them aren't at this point, you know?
Yeah.
To one extent or another. Cole Hauser for $5. Hail Jay and Ryan. Thanks to both of you for rough times. I still hate this world. I don't really look at faith, but the two of you give me hope. Well, thanks, Cole Hauser.
I appreciate it, man.
Chelsea M. I think in the coming years, people will have to choose between what is right and what is easy. It's a sad state of affairs. Hi, Kira for $2. I'm a proud college dropout. Go to trade school. Nikos, I don't know how the last one, let's just say Nikos for $10. I'm a center-right person. I was in a leftist channel yesterday, and this black bitch was saying that you can't expect your community to show sympathy because of what he was saying about George Floyd. You call them communists. I don't even give them that honor. The Soviet Union was run by men. These leftists are neo-Marxists, and Karl Marx was as much of a weirdo as them, whose disgusting ideology has poisoned the world.
Cool.
Green-haired anti-liberal, what's up, for $20, says, I'm not deeply religious, but I truly believe everything Charlie did in life was his calling. Even in God's arms, he's still doing his work. People on the left are leaving because of the ghouls who are laughing at what happened. Brian K. Culture is downstream from education. Thank you, Brian. Rudy for $5. When you make reasonable conversation impossible, you make unreasonable conversation inevitable. Wild Man for $5. No jokes today. Thank you both for streaming. Pray for peace.
Thank you.
Ace. So look, I will not advocate that at all. We are not here. Just want to reiterate, we're not here calling for violence. We're not here calling for reciprocal violence. We're not doing anything like that on this channel. However, I will say, when people show you who they are, that tells you a lot about them. And I think that they need to be called out. And I think we need to hold people accountable publicly, not by violence. Just want to put that out there. Doug May for 10. As Christians, we need to have compassion for everyone. However, that doesn't mean we have to tolerate evil in any form. Eternal truths cannot be changed no matter how hard you try. Steve Fitch for 5. Did you see Asman's latest video on these people celebrating? He's furious and on a mission. I saw portions of one from, I think, early yesterday. But if he's put out a new one, I don't think I have. But yeah, he's going hard. Sergio Garcia, hot damn, Unky Ray Ray, my eardrums. Ouch. Yeah, I screamed a little bit. Net Stealer for 2. Chuck Norris wears Charlie Kirk pajamas. The one in the background for $10. Apparently, someone wrote a book titled The Shooting of Charlie Kirk, and the book was published a day prior to his death. It has been taken down, but the author's being looked into. I saw that as well. If you want my honest opinion, knowing basically nothing. It's probably a book that they put up, like a random fucking nobody. There's a bunch of people that publish like hundreds of books that are like written by AI and just like crap. My guess is that was a book that had, just been released by this person, and they changed the title of it. So like, if I had put up a thing like how to make flower beds or something and put out a book like that, you could go and you could change the title of that, and it would still show when you had put it up for sale, right? You could like change the listing and it would still show when it came out. That's my initial thoughts on something like that, personally. But obviously, every little thing should be looked into. More Hogland for 30. The Dems claiming they are loving, accepting, and want gun control to make America safe, yet they're the people who pew-pewing those they don't disagree with. Hypocrisy at the highest level. Dark Knight Rider, I miss the good old days of Philly's Karen. Mr. Christmas, I don't have socials, but which celebrities have paid their respects, said the right thing? Look, I saw Charlie Sheen was on Joe Rogan when this all happened, and Charlie Sheen had an immediate reaction that I actually thought was normal. It was normal. It's how people should react. Chris Pratt went out there. Tim Allen went out there. Probably a lot of people. I would say the majority of people have done the right thing, have said the right things. But it is a significant portion of people who have not. And the amount of interactions that they're getting on their posts is insane. Wasp for $20. History has proven that violent language leads to violent actions. History repeats itself. We know better and must take action. What is Georgia Tech doing about those guys? We know the profiles that commit heinous acts intervene. That was from probably months and months ago, right?
No, he said in the beginning, this is the day after Charlie Kirk.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that part. But
after he was shot, after he was assassinated.
The smart review for 5. King is nasty, and I'm not watching or reviewing his film. Shaking my head. So many nasty and disgusting people on social media. I blocked over 40 people on my Facebook feed. Bro, look, one of the things that has pissed me off in a weird way over the past 24 hours is, look, Facebook is a cesspool of stupid disinformation, AI generated fake stories, stuff like that. But it's everywhere. It's not just Facebook. However, there have been I've seen probably 10 or 12 different posts about sports players. Wide receiver Justin Jefferson is pledged to take care of Charlie Kirk's family after these tragic events.
Yeah.
Guess what? That's not real. That never happened. And you're also seeing the same exact stories about Jalen Hurts and CJ Stroud and this like 10 or 12 different players. Same thing for Sidney Crosby from the NHL. It's just lies. It is just like clickbait fucking lies, like purely made up for engagement, that Some of them get posted to Facebook and then copy pasted by the engagement farmers. It's nuts. It is nuts.
Yes.
And I get it. Everybody wants clicks. Everybody wants this. It's straight up lies. It's made up. It's bullshit. And that it pisses me off, dude.
It's not even a hint of like the truth. It's like,
no, it's not your take.
It's like they put a bunch of names on a wall and a bunch of things, and they just throw stuff, and wherever it sticks, that's what they make the title of.
Yeah. I think Greg Abbott, the governor of Texas, retweeted one of these fake stories.
Yeah, I think so. That's
and
right.
It's like, bro.
Yep.
Axel Foley, as Vernon Dursley said, justice. Ha. Modest rat for 5. Keep up the good work, gay boys. Keep up the pressure. Even you're the Forrest Gump of geeks and gamers. I am an Army vet, but hey, but Pirate Ryan. Thanks, Modest Rat.
Shout out.
Band Geek, I agree with Ryan. Thank you. Bring back insane asylums.
Make them bigger.
Kyle Crowell, every time Ryan calls out a stupid fuck in the comments, an angel gets his wings.
That's pretty funny.
Nortrom for 300. I don't know what that is, but thank you. Remember Alex Ahalaka, the man who killed himself after Zoe Quinn falsely accused him? Yes, 100%. No one ever held her accountable.
She never was held accountable for that, huh?
I mean, she was called out for it.
Yeah,
Like, no one buys her shit. Like, let's just be real, but
gotcha.
Ace for 5 because canceling didn't work, Ryan. Escalation was inevitable. Always ghostly for 2. Starscream says trans lives don't matter. Is that true, Jay?
That's right. They don't matter. He kills them all. We're talking about the Transformers Starscream.
Yeah.
Thanks you for the hat. I think you're in the chat.
Grunt for 50 pounds says, those rejoicing over Charlie, you are feral. I will never forget or forgive any of you. You're the same as the feral people who executed the 2 corporals in 1988 during the Troubles. My thoughts and prayers for Charlie's wife and children.
Bro, look at this nonsense right here. This is just a little quick. We got to end on something positive because I'm like, the Rolling Stone writes, the MAGA right says Charlie Kirk is a martyr for freedom of expression, but still want people to lose their jobs for criticizing his rhetoric. Also, the Rolling Stone, why cancel culture is good for democracy.
That's
it's like, it's just who they are, man. Reeds in the wind, man. Reeds in the wind.
PVD becomes a channel member. Thank you, PVD, or PDV, sorry. Van, it's time to stop turning the other cheek. Joe Music, I'm at work and people are laughing about Charlie Kirk's death. I felt a wave of sadness come over me, so this is where we are surrounded by enemies. Just the truth. I was at the gym yesterday, and I know someone there who goes to one of the local colleges, UCF, and I was like talking to them about it because obviously they might have a different perspective. They're younger, like all that stuff. And they were pretty like non-political person, but they were shocked. Like she was stunned by the level of celebration that there were by some people there. And UCF, just like a lot of other colleges around the country, had like random threats called in and stuff like that yesterday. I think things are going to get really bad. Burnham for 20. This has made me feel the need to be more vocal about my thoughts on SM. While I try to make sure my words are thought out, I won't be silent anymore. I am Charlie Kirk. Thank you, Burnham. Appreciate it. I think a lot of people are going to be inspired by it. Dark Knight Rider for 5. To clarify, you said I missed the days of Philly's Karen. To clarify, I wasn't complaining about the show's subject matter. Just keep doing what you're doing. It's needed. Funny how a week can turn out. 100%. Look, to start this week, I was feeling really sad and depressed about the Chicago Bears game, right?
Yeah, we were talking about our football teams and how they
we're talking about how awful our football teams are. Obviously, there's much more important things in reality. But I will say, I do think much in the aftermath of September 11th and stuff like that. Sports are great opportunities that can bring people together. You saw Trump at 9/11 at the Yankees game, all the Yankees embracing him and stuff like that. I don't think that happens a couple years ago, just being honest. And, they held a moment of silence for Charlie Kirk before the game, before the Packers-Redskins game at Green Bay. I will say this. None of these sports leagues should have to do anything when some random person, whether they're a political figure, whether they're an activist, whether they're just a random person, they shouldn't be pressured to put out statements on everybody. However, you're the ones who went all in on George Floyd. You went all in and made statements and specific things about George fucking Floyd. So you better be just as damn loud for Charlie Kirk. Way more loud, in fact, but I don't think they'll be that loud. Eugenio, speaking of Sydney Sweeney, check out the trailer for Christy based on female boxer Christy Martin. She looks amazing in the role. Jay, do you still have that? Can you pull that up? Let's watch that.
I do.
Yeah, let's watch that trailer.
Happy birthday, Sydney. We will watch your... She looks really different.
And as you get this up, I'll get caught up on Rumble as well. Tilted World for 5. I hope this can be used to finally flesh out the faux academic rot in the system, privatize loans, deny funding, no more grievance studies, etc. Also for $5, Mighty Megatron. On the other side of the fence on GayTube, here's a joke for you. There's a Mexican, Cuban, and Brazilian in a car. Who's driving? Border Patrol. Thank you. But yeah, let's watch it.
Ladies and gentlemen, have I got a treat for you? You must be the lady I've been hearing so much about.
Yes, sir. It's an honor to meet you, Mr. King.
Now tell me about yourself. Jesse here says that you fight in all pink.
I'm from West Virginia.
What's that got to do with pink?
Nothing, sir. I'm just telling you about myself.
Yeah, pink was my idea.
I think I found my thing. I bet most people go their entire lives and they don't even know what their thing is.
You the world champion right now. You think you what makes the world turn. But one day you're going to wake up and realize that it turns just fine without you.
What are you doing sneaking around behind my back?
Sneaking around. Hey, Dad. I think I want to come home.
Want to lose your trainer, your career, all of it?
Honey, you are like family to me. I am worried about you. I've heard some stuff.
What stuff?
There's no Christy Martin without me.
I need help, Mama. He's angry at me all the time. Oh, Christy. You sound crazy.
If you leave me, I'll kill you.
Do what you have to do. I spent half my life hiding. It's my house. It's my things. It's my dream.
Oh boy, ladies and gentlemen, have I got a treat for you.
Is this like her first
it's not
major
her first,
drama, I guess?
It's not. She's been in other like smaller stuff and things like that.
Not
However,
not as a star though.
Like co-starring role. This is probably her first like lead one when it comes to
Yeah,
something.
right. That's
right.
Okay, that's
where,
what I
like,
was
she
asking.
is the lead. But yeah, obviously I think it's intended as like a more serious role. It's different from the stuff she normally does. from some things we've heard from people, they're impressed by it, and they were like impressed by her acting skills in it. And we'll see. This is the role that she reportedly put on a lot of weight to do, just so she could replicate the boxing and all of that stuff. So we'll see. Not a normal Sydney Sweeney role.
Nope. And happy birthday.
Happy birthday. Logan Johnson for 5. Much love to you boys in the chat. Not much of a religious guy, but God bless everyone and much peace. Thank you. Caveman Dave, Ben Shapiro posted a beautiful memorial, I assume Shapiro, of Charlie's little daughter running into studio to give him a massive hug. How anyone can see the sheer loss for his family and post a shitty comment is demonic. I truly believe there is a lot of demonic forces behind a lot of the people who are celebrating this right now. And some people might dismiss that or whatever. It's truly what I believe. Nosmer Unlimited. Once these losers step a toe out of line from the narrative, they'll be persecuted and threatened too. Achilles Jones. I see comments from the left using the occasion going for a gun control. Mods, the AOC, Pocahontas, etc. This means going after Second Amendment right, which is a textbook play of socialist agenda. 1000%. Free men die free for 10. For decades, the left justified what happened at Waco because the Branch Davidians were deemed a cult. If we held them to their own standards, they would not exist. Taker for 10 says, in a country with free speech enshrined in its most sacred founding document, we have citizens, not government, rejecting that right with violence and celebrating it. Our fellow citizens are doing this. Good point. Over on the Rumble side, go sack for 5. The irony is Hitler was a socialist, like most of them. Low info retards. Well, and Jay, we could also talk about, real quick, we'll talk about the Super Mario announcement.
Yeah, I heard they had a direct this morning. I wasn't there. Had a nice full panel over on G&G Play. I think that is still up.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know everything that was covered in the direct, to be honest with you. I didn't watch it. I was kind of eyes glued to the press conference.
Yeah.
But we did get something in regards to the follow-up to the highly successful Super Mario Brothers. We knew they were going to do more. We knew they were going to do a sequel, all of this stuff. Well, we officially have a title reveal, Jay. They're doing Super Mario Galaxy, the Super Mario Galaxy movie, and they put together a little tiny teaser for the announcement.
The music.
Nintendo, don't strike us or claim us or whatever you do with all your stuff. We're just reacting to this, please.
Man, that's gonna be huge.
Probably is. Probably going to be big. Yeah.
Huge. And if I'm pretty sure they're bringing Yoshi in the mix because that was teased in the last film, and maybe we'll see Waluigi.
You still didn't say it right. You slowed down and you still.
I know, man. I can't. My tongue is Waluigi. Y'all know what I mean. Waluigi.
God, your tongue is like swollen or something, Jay. Like your tongue sounds like you've always been bit by or like stung by a bee or something.
I got crooked teeth.
Like tongue's just a little too big for the mouth. But yeah, it's set to release April 3rd, 2026. By the way, obviously a lot of people love Super Mario Galaxy, the game. I guess I'm a little surprised. I just thought they would do. I thought they would do Super Mario Brothers 2, like maybe centered something around Yoshi or whatever because of that tease we got at the end. They're just going full Super Mario Galaxy, so anything is up for grabs. But yeah, I think a lot of people would be excited. A lot of kids are going to be really excited to go see that in the spring.
Yeah,
So
no,
that's
it's gonna be big.
exciting.
They did the first movie right, and people are excited for the second one. They're excited for this one too. I think Galaxies is a great move. I'm looking forward to it. I love the first one.
I still think it's wild that we're having a live action Zelda.
Is that the
Like,
same year? No,
I don't know if that's supposed to be
they haven't
2026.
they haven't
I
really
think it's
given
supposed to be
us.
2027, right?
Gotcha.
I believe, but I could be wrong, but I think so. You know, I was shocked when they came out and said we're doing a live action version of that, especially as you're building this animated Mario universe. I thought they were going to do animated like Zelda thing because it would kind of like
Right,
make sense
correct.
in my mind, but we'll see how the live action thing turns out. I don't know if it'll be well received.
If they stick
But
with the plan, it should be well received. If they decide they're like, we're going to give people creative liberties, which Nintendo doesn't really like people doing that. We'll see.
But with that, we are going to end the stream. Again, we appreciate you guys joining us, and sorry for the heavy content again. But now that the person that we believe to have killed Charlie Kirk has been caught, I do think that probably next week for the dailies next week we'll get to a little more normal stuff. But sometimes things happen where you can't ignore it.
No, the real
You,
shift.
you can't not talk about some of these things that are out there. So we appreciate you guys being with us through this entire thing, and we'll try to be back to a little bit more normal stuff. But there's no doubt we are still going to, if we see things that are related to this topic or people need it, we are going to talk about it. So we have to. But Jay, do you have anything going on today?
I'm actually, I think might take the rest of the day off. So I don't have anything. Maybe gaming later. I don't know.
There you go.
We'll see.
I'll be on FNT and at 4 p.m. Eastern. No idea what we're going to talk about, but there we are. All right, guys. We appreciate you, and everybody stay safe, and try to have a good weekend. We'll talk to you later.